Hey guys, wow, doing some 3D today. Gotta figure this out. Where the hell is it? Gotta figure out the YouTube thing. Trying to get this thing to unwatch me work. One sec here. This is stupid. I hate flipping YouTube. I don't know, I can't find where the hell it is. Oh, I think I know what it is. I'm looking at the wrong channel. There you go. Never mind. Found it. Alright. Okay, we're good. Figure out my problem. URL is invalid. set. Finally. Hey, provider, man. Sorry about that. I was just trying to set up my stream on another website. I have this another website that I signed up for. So they asked me to stream there as well. It's more about creative streaming than game streaming like Twitch. So I signed up there just to kind of help them out a little bit with the popularity. Let me just put it on Discord as well. How's it going, man? How's your day going? Alright. Oops, I didn't start this. Local time. Make a couple of changes to the... There you go. Alright, now we're good to go. I'm processing yesterday info about new AMD Vega GPUs. Oh, did they actually release how the thing is gonna perform, or? I didn't really look into that either. I know Raptor is probably gonna talk to me about it. Most likely. So we'll try to finish off this scene finally today. Hopefully we oh wait a minute, I already did this. Yeah, we'll try to finish off this bridge and do a final render for once and move on to something else. 1070. I was waiting for this, so I decided. Oh, what to get? Oh, okay. You're getting a new GPU, I'm assuming then? That's cool. Yeah, I remember when I was buying my new PC, just before buying my new PC, the NVIDIA 10,000 series were just about to come out. So I waited to see what the performance is going to be like, and I'm glad I did, because the prices of once they came out, prices of everything kind of just dropped. Like all the 900 series dropped, everything just dropped in price, and I got 1070 now, but yeah, now it's something around between but with more energy draw. Yeah, no, the 1000 series GTXs are really good cards. I can't fault mine, to be honest. It's a really good card. I don't know what the prices are going on now for those cards, but yeah, they're really good. get one since my old burned. Yeah, that's the one I have as well. I have Gigabyte G1 Gaming 1070. Really good card. Like I said, I had zero issues with it, and performance wise it's really good. I run a bunch of my games on triple screens and have no issues with the cards or with the card. Really solid card. Why is this chamfer being retarded? Just gonna do a actually, you know what? I'll just leave it like this. I don't really need to spend too much detail on this crap. This is basically gonna be like wood planks for the sidewalk here. By the way, I started modeling that tank yesterday night. Oh nice, do you have any preview shots? Let's see it, man. Unless you haven't gotten far with it, but which is fine as well. Wood. I gotta sneeze. Ooh. Alright. Oh, nice. That's looking really good, man. Yeah, that's exactly like I said. Just do everything in sections, and if you need to do like welds here, you can like bake some welds on the edges if they're welded together as one object. But yeah, that's a really great start. And if you're doing it for a game, I mean, you could get rid of a lot of these polygons, because that's gonna be a lot of polys, but still, good start. Looks really good, nice and smooth. Hate this thing. Make these a lot bigger. Oops. Oh, I just arrayed the shit out of this thing. Hey, Nano, what's happening, man? Yeah, once I finish, I could do some optimization. Okay. Yeah, you can do stuff with real units. I mean, it's all it takes is just setting up the unit scale properly. Like metric or imperial, whatever you're using. Let's do the array here. Move. I think it's Z axis. Let's try. Nope, wrong way. That's probably why. There you go. And now we're just gonna increase the number of these things. 50, 100. There you go. Perfect.
It was right there in our reach. Everything we saw from there was ours to keep. The water was clear, cool and deep. Brought you back to way and took the easy road down to the beach. I wonder now, do you regret?
So same thing on the other side, and then we'll just do like a fence of sorts. I kind of started already with this little. Hey, sir, what's happening? Sorry guys for not doing 3D streams again, but we'll stick with Mondays for now. It's just my last Monday was really busy, so I couldn't really do any of the 3D streams, so I missed out. But I'll promise you guys Mondays for sure from now on. How much I redid my project in Moto. Play in V-Ray. Oh, nice. You got the full Moto now? Full license. Sweet. It's awesome, man. Yeah, you should definitely get a proper rendering engine, because you're hurting yourself if you're using some of the default stuff. V-Ray is really, really powerful, and there's a lot of stuff on it online, so you'll most likely get a lot better results from it. Education license, nice. Oh, it's gonna do this now. I'm just gonna do it like a box. Let's do this on the side. Need to do a section of this. Just manually do it, I think. Shouldn't take too long. Hopefully we'll finish this, do one nice render of this by the end of the stream. Hopefully, I'm counting on it. So far in comparison to Moto's default render, I'm a little unimpressed though. We still have different results from CPU. So yeah, the RT is good for like quick previews and stuff. I wouldn't really use it for final renders, because it just has its own limitations still versus the CPU one. It's good for like a live render, like what I'm using in Corona. Like the Corona Interactive is basically kind of like V-Ray RT, more or less. But the only thing is with Corona's live render, it's actually a GPU render, so it renders exactly the same as the CPU, so there's no drawbacks at all. But it's trust me, just give it some time with V-Ray, and you'll see you'll get a lot better results than probably default Moto render. The one thing with V-Ray is it can be a little frustrating to get set up right, because it's quite complex to render. Like it has a lot of settings, and it might take some time to get used to. But overall, you should be getting a lot better results from it. I used V-Ray for many years before, and then I switched to Corona. Yeah, that's unfortunate, to be honest. It's probably not as well implemented as in 3D Max, the V-Ray RT. In 3D Max, V-Ray RT has been improved on, over the years and stuff. So I really don't know how well it works in Moto. It's just not familiar with that program, obviously. So because V-Ray started with the plugin started with 3D Max. That was the first program they actually used when they got the program, or when they got the plugin out. It was based off of 3ds Max. So naturally, that's gonna be a good, their best program that they use it on, or to use it on, the whole program itself, or the whole plugin itself. Why is this? Alright, these crisscross like that, and then we'll just do one at top and bottom. The only thing is now I need to figure out what material I'm gonna use here. So the final results are better, but only slightly compared to yeah, I have a feeling the Moto version is just not as good. It's because there's V-Ray for all sorts of different programs. There's V-Ray for SketchUp, for I know there's one for Revit, but it's probably never gonna be as good as 3ds Max version, unfortunately. But I think that's the case. Maybe with Modo as well. So, but don't like I said, don't give up on it just yet. Give it some time, because V-Ray can be a challenge at first. You know, to get going and stuff. It's basically an industry standard render for most people, for most artists, but I find that it's one of the most complex to use, and I've used it for many years, and I still find it pretty hard to use. And the only reason I switched to Corona, because it's so much easier to set up, to get the same result, like a really good result from a quick setup is from Corona, is just so much easier. And that was the only reason I ever switched. I just don't have time like playing with options and trying to find the best looking, you know, settings. Where in Corona I can just do it in like minutes, more or less. You know what I mean? So it's just it saves time. That's all it matters to me. Alright, let's just set up a quick material for this thing. We'll call this planks. Struggling to get light into my material without adding extra lights. Yeah, it's gonna take some time for you to get used to the settings. To get V-Ray to look half decent, it's all practice. So just wait and give it some time. That's all I can really tell you. Look up tutorials online and stuff like that. And hopefully you'll find something helpful. Like Raptor is pretty good. I don't know how the settings look in Moto versus 3ds Max, but Raptor and I can probably help you out with the settings. Maybe take some screenshots and stuff, and maybe we can tell you what to increase, what to decrease, things like that. Okay, so this is probably gonna be some sort of metal. I don't know if I should make it green as well, like I did the other, or yellowish, maybe beige color. What did I do with this? With the bridge. I use metal stuff. think I'm almost done with this one. Man, that looks awesome. You know what you need to do, Nano, with this? These propellers and stuff, do a motion blur with them. If they're supposed to be spinning, I'm assuming they're supposed to be spinning. So do a motion blur on the propellers. And I think that would basically be that. It will look perfect. Nice. Awesome, thanks. Well, if I get stuck in something, yeah, definitely post the settings of the, you know, like take a screenshot of the settings of the V-Ray in Moto, and then maybe they'll look something similar like 3ds Max, and I can probably give you some pointers. Raptor uses V-Ray as well, so hopefully he might respond as well. There's a couple of guys I think in Discord that use V-Ray as well, so you know, don't be shy to post settings. As long as they're fairly similar to what it looks like in 3ds Max, we can definitely probably help you out. Okay, let's see what we got here. Shit, did I miss? Damn it. I missed one of these. Horizontal guy ones. Son of a bitch. When I was copying it, I made a little mistake. A little boo-boo. I don't know what the hell happened here. Shit. What the hell happened? Jeez. Slavin, what the hell is going on, man? I'm getting rusty. As soon as I don't do as much 3D, I'm getting all rusty. Alright, I think we got it fixed now. I think. Yeah. Must have selected things really wrong way when I was copying these things. Okay, render setup. Did I finish everything on the card that I wanted to do? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I got little details and stuff. I'm pretty sure I did. We'll find out. can't remember if this was the way I rendered it before. Pretty sure. Let's see what the original looked like. That was the old one. It's quite dark. Man, the bloom effect is really strong. It's probably gonna go down the longer I wait. Let's try perspective. That optical flare, yeah. I think it's a little much. Oops. No, definitely need to use camera setting. I need to definitely tone it down a little bit. The blur thing is all a little nuts. But we're gonna have to do this in sections. So I'm gonna do a render without the car, because I'm gonna use that to blur basically the backgrounds. Because the thing is, when I do Photoshop of blurring the car, then like it's tough to do like around the car, because the car gets actually blurred as well, the edges of the car, which I really need to like take out of the whole thing. So what I'll do a render of just the background without the car, and then do one with the car, and then just cut it out, and then combine the two together. So basically that's... Porsche has announced that it will quit refueling under this championship. What the hell is with this Formula E crap, man? Hey Raptor, how's it going, man? Not a fan of the Formula E stuff. Let me see if this is the... Try to open this guy. Yeah, the whole motorsport thing is like going to shit. I don't know. Everything is heading towards like environmentally friendly motorsports, and it's like I'm not a fan of it, honestly. I just want to see if I achieve the same look here. Okay, come on. For daily cars. No, I know, but I'm just saying it. I'm not a fan of it. That's all I'm saying. Hey, my freaking computer is gonna like explode now. I have too many things open. Trying to see if this is the alright, that's good. Sweet. Alright. Okay, so we can probably do the final render now. I'll just close this. So we'll do like a nice size render. So first without the car, and then one with the car. Let's try 3 grand maybe. Or 2. No, let's just 2,000. It has gamma correction, but I really don't touch it though. I just use the default one that's in 3ds Max. But there is gamma correction somewhere in here, I just can't remember where. There's color shift and all that stuff, but the gamma you shouldn't really touch. As long as your default is a 2.2, you should be fine. So we'll let this thing render for a bit. Let's look up some maybe other people's work while it's rendering. CG cars. This website used to exist at some point, but I don't know what happened to it. The website must have like shut down or something. There's like a forum for doing cars in 3D. It must have shut down. It used to be like CG cars dot something. You can go to CG Talk. Feature 3D. I have a login for this, but I haven't used it in a long time. That's pretty cool. That's funny. Yeah, that's awesome. You know how many people do really cars in 3D? There's one. This is actually probably a video. Yeah. It's a little choppy because I'm rendering, but not too bad. Looks like he used the same character as I did in this car. Not Legos again. Yeah. Pomegranate shots. That's good, interesting. Wow, that's pretty good, man. You really did good job on all the little pieces of it. That's really interesting, nice and abstract. That glass just like bang on. Wow. The color of the pomegranate is not that good. It should be a lot more reddish. This is a really yellow color. Have you seen the prices for a Threadripper slab? No, I know a Threadripper is gonna be like right on the money. I'm definitely gonna consider it for my next CPU, maybe next year. I might start saving up for Threadripper. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Most likely this year I probably won't be upgrading just yet. Man, there's no cars at all. All characters. Yeah, the Intel stuff is way overpriced. The one thing that I noticed on Intel CPUs is they're really, all they've done is basically taken their i7s and overclocked the shit out of them. And the power usage and the temperatures are like through the charts, which is not really attractive, to be honest, for the, you know, quote unquote new CPU series. Camo pants, make sure nobody sees you at home. Yeah. Camo shorts, man. That's what it's about. Ah, there's a Mini Cooper. First car that actually, that's not bad. Pablo. Software Cinema 4D Octane render. And Photoshop, I guess. Post-processing. It looks a little too clean, but it's not bad. The modeling is really good. Not bad, not bad. Not a fan of new minis, to be honest. But I see people saying about i7s, they're not future-proof, no socket, just, yeah, it's, like I said, Intel hasn't really done anything new with the i9s. All they took is the old architecture and just maxed out their capabilities as much as they could. So basically, it's like us buying the i7 and like overclocking the shit out of it. That's all they've really done. And like you said, it's not really attractive looking for the new series of CPUs. There's a nice house. I'll let this render for like maybe 50 passes or something. I think 50 should be okay for blurred. And then I'll just make it blurry and then that's it. Where's the old stuff? Oh, CMC card's still up, eh? I used to go to this website like all the freaking time. Because I used to model only cars back in the day. And yeah, I would come here like for inspiration. I need to log into this website. I don't even know what my login is. But yeah, this was the website I'll be on like daily basis. But I think car modeling in general and rendering has kind of faded out over time. It's not as popular as it used to be, I don't think. which is unfortunate, but let me try to log into this website. I used to have one, but I just don't know if it still works. Like, I haven't been in this website in like years. Oh wow, I just logged in on the first shot. That's hilarious. I just used my old password. Wow, that's the proportions of this thing doesn't look right. Maybe it's the angle or something. That real wheel looks way too big, man. Unless that's what he wanted. There you go, Corona in Photoshop, man. You gotta use Corona. The render looks really good, but not sure about the tires. A little shiny, but the attempt is there, that's for sure. I just don't know if that wheel is a proportional size. Okay, just one sec, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Girlfriend was leaving, so I had to like wash the dog. My stuff. My stuff August 6th. Let's see. Oh wow. Your name is Doom17. Nice. I don't even know if I have my stuff on here, but still, if it's still present. That's funny, I don't know if I can look for it. How would I find my threads? What are you up to, my man? Hey, spicy nudes. Just rendering scene. Trying to do a final render, so I'm doing basically, there's 50 passes, so I can probably use up this thing. So I'm gonna render, do a render of a car, but now I'm just doing the final renders of it. So we'll make exterior. Because I have to make this motion blurred, but I don't wanna. I wanna do it in sections, because when I do the one with the car and then I do a cutout of the car, it kind of blurs the car as well. So I don't wanna do that. I wanna get rid of that stuff. So now I'm gonna do one with the car and then cut it out. Basically combine the two shots together. Now we'll just render this one. If you go Steam's car user and car, you'll find it. Okay, let's see. Materials look crisp. Yeah, they're not bad. The exterior, like the outside, I'm not too worried about. It's just more because it's gonna be motion blurred. So as long as the colors and everything look fairly decent, that's all that matters. So now I'm gonna render on with the car on Google, not forum. Oh, okay. Let's see, maybe it'll come up. What's my even username? Oh, it's Slavka, okay. Maybe we were talking on on CMC cars. Maybe we came across each other without even knowing back in the day. No, I can't find it. It doesn't matter. But I'm gonna render this one for a bit longer, and then we'll just combine them together. Form search doesn't work. But it's just, you know, some forums you're actually able to open up your own threads and stuff here, which is unfortunate. You can't really do it here now. But anyways, it is what it is. I think I only had like one car here, or maybe two. Yeah, so the website must have changed or something at one time. And yeah. We'll just look at some of these people work. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. I lost most of the data. That's not nice. That's not good. That's not bad. 570 McLaren. It's It's okay. So basically now what I'm gonna do is open up that one. What was that? Open that one render, and then where the hell is it now? There was another website that I used to go to. It was called CG Cars, and I have no idea what happened to it. It just I don't know if they got bought out by another like website or something, or they changed their name. I don't know. They must have changed their website, or just shut down completely. It was a really good website. Like good. It was forums basically where most of the people just did the car renders. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Adjustment. Although this guy. Oops. It's really slow now that I'm rendering. And then we'll just do motion blur. Blur motion. Let's pick the angle. You know what I'm saying? And maybe just a little bit more. Just don't want to overdo it. Actually, let's just do Control J and then do the copy of it instead. .3D mouse. Yeah, I use the 3D connection or whatever connection space navigator mouse. To like basically work in 3ds Max. I don't know if I can't show it now because I'm rendering, but it's pretty neat little guy. A lot of people ask me about that in my streams. That's why I have that command set up. Everyone's asking me like, man, how's your viewport so smooth? That's how. Alright, so let's go back on the forums while this thing is rendering. Looks pretty awesome, but I think it's more luxury than a necessity. If you do a lot of 3D, honestly, it's not a necessity. I'll agree with that. But it's $100. Like the mouse costs just over $100, and it makes a huge difference if you have one and use it. It's really handy thing to have. If you do a lot of 3D work, trust me, it's a nice thing to have. That's what I was thinking the same thing when before I bought it. I was like, do I really need it? I mean, you don't need anything when it comes to that sort of stuff, but I was thinking more if it's worth the money. And then Dopeness Monster, one of the streamers on Twitch that does 3D, he had one, and he also hated it the first time he used it, but then he went back to it and he freaking loves it now. And he basically convinced me to get it because I see him use it all the time in his stream, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to get one because it just looks freaking amazing. Like it makes your workflow a lot easier in viewports, that's for sure. And the learning curve, like the adjustment curve, is not that bad. Like at first, you know, it doesn't take much to get used to it, which is another good thing about the mouse. It definitely does, because I can turn on another. I can show you kind of the benefits of it. Let me just turn on the Autodesk. Hey, Bush and Renana, what's happening, man? Look at this friggin' Camaro. This guy does all these like crazy mods to his cars. We saw that Beetle earlier. Same user. Right. PC's chugging here while rendering at the same time. And, past 20. I'll do maybe 100 passes and then we'll Photoshop the shit out of it. Alright, hopefully my computer doesn't crash doing all this at once. Alright, so I'll try to open simple. Oops. It's not liking it. Alright, let's no, I'm not gonna, I'll use a cylinder. Just kind of show you what I mean by when I use this thing. It's a little choppy now because I'm rendering. I wish I could pause it. Corona doesn't let you pause rendering, which is unfortunate. So basically, it looks a lot smoother than this. It's just I'm rendering now, so it's a little choppy. The frames are really choppy. But here's like one of the examples why it's great. So let's say you need a cut all the way around the cylinder. So you do Alt C. And you know, if you were doing this with your regular mouse and keyboard, now to actually shift and turn, it's kind of, you can do it, but it's not as fluid. With this thing, you can just do and just keep rotating while you're cutting. You know, it doesn't really phase you at all. Like it can just keep going around, whatever, you know, as you're rotating the thing. It's just, that's just one of the things, but there's other, like you would see the benefits the more you work with it. And just for streaming in general, I think it looks a lot smoother to, like, for the viewers as well. That's another reason why I got it, because watching Dopeness streams while he spins his models, it's just much more pleasing to the eye when you look at him work on his models with the actual 3D mouse. Because when you use the Alt thing, it's a little more choppy and stuff. With this thing, and you know, because you have the other mouse, you can just select things, and then with the left hand, because you have your space mouse on the left side and your other mouse on your right side, then you can use more. It's just more tools to use, basically. But it definitely has its benefits, I have to admit, to be honest. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, that's for sure. Because let's say I'll just delete this. That's a good point. So let's say you pick this a perspective. Yeah. Find a perspective. Go Control C. Now you create a physical cam. So now you can kind of pan the cam, but with this thing you can actually rotate the camera. So now you're in the camera view, and you can actually fine-tune the camera view with the actual space mouse. The only thing that I still couldn't find is to pan left and right, but you can use the other mouse to do pan left and right. With this thing, you can only just rotate. You're basically rotating around the pivot of the camera. So the combination of that and your other mouse for panning, you can basically fine-tune your camera view to whatever you want. But honestly, it's at the end of the day, it's a lot more pleasurable to work with it. I find it more enjoyable to work in my viewports now with the actual mouse itself. You know, is it really necessary? It's not, that's for sure. Like, the mouse is not a necessity. Like, you can still work with 3D, no problem, do, you know, amazing models no matter what. But it does probably increase your productivity maybe slightly. I would say it did for me anyways, but you know, like I said, it's not a expensive piece of hardware. So, like, you know, if it was like a couple $100, then I probably wouldn't really be able to justify it. But since it's like just over $100, I think that's reasonable for. I mean, I've spent crazy money on, like, I mean, my mouse was like $60. My current mouse, I have like a G 402 or 402 Logitech mouse, and that one was like $60. You know, people spend like $200 on a mechanical keyboards and stuff like that. So spare the money, then it's fine. Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. If you're really short on cash, then don't really worry about it. Maybe spend it more on something like you know, spend maybe your money on something like a license for a rendering engine or something like that. You know, there are things that are better for, you know, to spend the money on, like rendering engines and shit like that. But if you have a regular job, and you have the money, I mean, why not? And do a lot of 3D, I say get it. If it was me, let's say like regular keyboard versus mechanical keyboard, or a 3D space mouse, or a space navigator, I would rather get a space navigator and stick with just a regular cheap keyboard. That's the way I would see it. Like, you know, it all basically, when you put in a comparison, what's more worth it, that's the way I would put it. So 32 passes. For me, good price. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, you know, if you have the money, why not? You definitely will enjoy it more working in 3D with the mouse. I can guarantee you that. Just give it some time. Like at first, you might find it a little gimmicky, but once you get a handle of it, like hang of it, it's gonna be just like a second nature. And then the thing is, this is the thing, because like I use it at home, like all the time in the streams and stuff. And then when I go to work and do some 3D there, 3D there without the mouse, because I don't have it at work, I actually feel like I'm handicapped. You know, like I'm like basically struggling in 3D. It's not bad because all it takes is, you know, like I have to now use the keyboard to pan and rotate. But at first, you get that weird feeling like something is missing. You know, that's how much like you actually get used to it over time, and you like start missing it. But again, you'll do fine without having one. That's for sure. It's not a necessity. Right from Serbia, sound a Serbian accent. Yeah, I'm originally Bosnian born. Lived in Serbia during the war, so I was in Serbia for 7 years probably. Yeah. I was living in Serbia for 7 years, and now I'm in Canada since July 99. So I've been in Canada for longer than back home, but I still go back to Serbia from time to time whenever I have money and vacation time. But you got it. I'm from that area of the world. Wow, this guy is he does really good models, holy shit. And he seems to do a lot of them frequently. His name keeps coming up during the war. Yeah, we basically lost everything from Bosnia during the war. Like our whole house got burnt and everything, and it's basically gone. But we're still trying to sell the lot where the house is. It still belongs to us, obviously. I mean, it's all peaceful now. I go back there all the time, to see friends and family. But yeah, Serbia, because Bosnia there was a war, so we basically had relatives in Serbia, and we moved there during the war in Bosnia. But then in Serbia got bombarded by NATO in the 90s, or like 99, I think. And so that wasn't fun either. But luckily my city where I lived, it didn't get affected. There was no bombs. Bombs were not dropped at that city, which was good. But yeah, I've gone through a lot of moving around with my family in the past. Living refugees more or less, without much money. But all that stuff is in the past now, and I'm glad it is. I was a kid at the time, so it didn't affect me all that much, but I'm sure my parents went through a lot of ordeal. But yeah, I had a lot of stories even when I was in Bosnia. When the war started, we were still in the city in our house when the war broke out, like full out war. We were still in the house at the time, and that wasn't fun. I mean, like I said, I was a kid, so I forgot most of the stuff that was happening, and I'm glad I did. But yeah, not fun. Yeah, like I said, my family didn't really. We all survived. Knock on wood, we were all fine, and most of the close family survived the war without any issues. There were a couple of close friends and stuff of my dad's that died in the war, but that's about it. Luckily we were not too affected. Nobody dying and stuff like that in the war, which is good. So. Alright, let's go back to CG Talk. This website is not all that good. Alright, AMG. That's pretty good. Guy from Poland. Wow, that's a pretty solid interior, holy shit. Nice. See, this guy is, I think, a lot better modeler than his rendering skills are still okay, but his modeling skills are way better than his rendering skills. Still really looks really solid though. Oh man. Oops, wrong. No, it's fine. Frog. Do you freelance? No, unfortunately not. 3D, like most of my 3D work is just for fun. And I started streaming 3D like a few years back, just to kind of like keep up with it, because I wasn't really doing 3D, any 3D for work. Only like once in a while I would do some of it, but it's not, it's more, it was connected more to my actual everyday job. So I wasn't really doing as much 3D. And then I started streaming. That kind of brought it back up, you know, because now when you stream, you're kind of forced to do more 3D work. And that's one of the reasons I started streaming it, just so I can, you know, keep working on it. So I don't want to forget that skill, because I enjoy doing 3D, but a lot of times when you don't have any reason to do it, you lose the motivation, especially if you're not doing it for work, right? So I do architecture. That's my day-to-day job. So like I do, I'm a draftsman basically. I do construction drawings, and I do like site inspections and stuff like that. So work for like a few architects here in Ottawa in Canada. And then sometimes they'll require, you know, a 3D render of a building once in a while, but not like something like this, you know. A client will ask for something like this once in a while, but it doesn't really happen that often, unfortunately. So I don't do a lot of 3D work really for money, you know, unfortunately, but it's just the nature of things. The Ottawa, like this city, 3D wise, like it's not. There is jobs here to do 3D work, but it's not as like to do your own freelance thing. It's tough. There's not a lot of demand for those sort of jobs, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly. So I started basically doing 3D as a hobby back in the like early 2000s, and I still, you know, I stick with it, you know, and I do things every now and then. But you know, the older you get, the more basically you're busy with other stuff, you know, girlfriend, this, and like, you know, your actual job, and then a lot of things get in the way. So you know, you do less and less 3D, because I used to do it as a hobby when I was in like college and stuff like that, and I had like shit ton of time to do 3D. But now it's just there's less and less time to work on it, and then you lose the motivation at the same time. So that's honestly, if it wasn't for streaming, I probably wouldn't have done any 3D in like the last few years, except maybe occasional 3D render for my firm, but that's about it. Sure, I have wait, isn't that showing? Yeah, I have a ArtStation account. It shows underneath my camera, but you must have not seen it. I didn't post all of the things there, but so this is a work in progress still. Working on G27 Logitech, the steering wheel. It broke down basically on me, so before I threw it out, I had this crazy idea to model the entire thing piece by piece. It's still work in progress, because it's a lot of work. But I can show you where I'm at currently. This is just, again, there's still lots to do, but I'm over half of it done at least. That's, at least I think I am. Anyways, this is like a little, for the stream I was working on a little logo or whatever, a banner or something like that, Balkan 3D. Sketched out an idea and then I just modeled it. So this is a car I did in a stream. Ford Escort, the Cosworth version. You have stuff you did back in first year of college? I think I have some old stuff I can dig out, yeah. When I started doing 3D. This is my most recent stuff. If you've already seen this, and these are some of the sketches that I worked on. I actually did some sketching in the stream as well. That's my bike. This is really old. This is one of my really old models. This thing is probably 10 years old. Done in V-Ray, like 2006 maybe. So I started modeling maybe 2001, and this is one of my first, like a really high quality, you know, high poly model that I've actually done. Yeah, this is I think 2006-07, around that time. This is another car I did in the stream. It's a Fiat, basically the car from back home that was used to be popular in the 80s. I just kind of did like a racing version of it, and I've did something for fun, like for a Be Right Back screen. So I did like, I was just playing around with like some different ideas. So I did this, and then yeah, just there's the mesh. But this was a fun car to model in the stream. Much easier to model something like this than the Ferrari there, like this car. You know, flat panels and stuff. Older cars are much easier to model. Oops, where did I put it now? Did I lower it? Come on. What happened to it? Son of a... Did I close it? No. Alright, so yeah, that's that. And like this is again most of my, and this is some architectural stuff, renders that I've done in V-Ray. Some of the stuff is really old. Yeah, really boxy cars, and then it's a lot easier to model them than newer, like curvier stuff. This is some of like my more work renders. You know, this is like a renovation to a pool, and then some rich guy's house. Then Royal Thai Embassy, like a proposal, but this never actually went through because they had zoning issues with the building. The neighbors didn't allow them to build something modern like this because it's in residential area, so all the houses around there were just like regular, you know, homes, like high pitched roofs. None of the homes were like actually modern looking. So in Ottawa, like in Canada, it's pretty tough to build anything. That's what they call zoning. The neighbors would actually complain if they see a project like in a proposal or whatever in progress, and then somebody would complain, and then the neighbors could shut down the project, and that was the case with this. They complained to the city, and then the city has no choice but to shut down the project. So it's unfortunate, but a lot of cool stuff doesn't get built here because of stuff like that. Let me just see if I can find some of my old stuff. I have a car that like one of the first cars that I've done. I used to do a lot of cars back in the day, and then I kind of sort of switched over doing other things. So this is one of the first cars I modeled on the Civic, but like you know, Fast and Furious body kit. I mean, not bad for a first car. This was like back in 2000, maybe 2. It's really low res, so I apologize for that. But I think the render is Mental Ray, or it might have been in Brazil. I can't remember now. For complaining, all the old people complaining exactly. No, I know, but it's this is how city works here. So a lot of people complain. Just I don't even know why. Like Aseki said, you don't know why they even complain, because they don't want their neighborhood to look different, you know, with this modern looking building. Because the thing is, once somebody they let someone build a brand new, like a modern building in their neighborhood, if they let it slide, then all of a sudden the next guy is gonna come up and do the same thing, you know. And that's what the neighbors are trying to prevent, or people are trying to prevent. But I think it's ridiculous. Honestly, I would never give people so much power to actually control that. I mean, you can give them something like, okay, if they build a freaking highway right next to their house, okay, I understand that, you know, it's a huge inconvenience. But if my neighbors wants to build a modern home, like, let him build it. Like, I don't give a shit, you know. As long as he follows the bylaws, you know, his house is not right against my property or something like that, you know, because we have rules for that as well. They're already set in place. You cannot build your house right on the freaking property line. It has to be a certain distance away from it. So, but I've never been put in those shoes, so I can't really kind of comment on it. But yeah, I've done some game models as well back in the day for R Factor mods. So this is like low poly stuff that I've done. That was a lot of fun. I used to do game models and race them in games. This is like a Corvette, but it's not painted yet. I do kind of get it though. Their homes, and then I want to change it. Maybe. Yeah, I know. Like, there's, you know, you understand the both side of things, but I feel at the end of the day, the city is giving way too much power to the actual general public, which I don't agree with. Like, because a lot of times city development has to have a plan to actually improve on infrastructure, improve on traffic, improve on streets, improve on, you know, everything, because the city is getting bigger, and then you have to improve on these things. And if you give so much power to the neighbors who are gonna bitch and complain, stuff is never gonna get done, because people sometimes are so stubborn and they don't even care if somebody's building, let's say, a brand new arena next to in their neighborhood, like a block down from their house, and they don't even want to understand why they're building it there, because, you know, it's probably a really great location for that arena. But the neighbors would say, well, screw it, I don't give a shit, like, it's down the street from my house, I don't want the traffic to be there when the games are on. And all of a sudden the project gets shut down, and it basically gets to that magnitude that, like, the whole neighborhood can just shut down the entire, like, I'm not talking about just like small, like, projects, like somebody brand new house or an embassy. I'm talking like, you know, bridge getting built, or like a huge arena or train station, or like the neighborhoods actually have a say on this stuff and control on this stuff. And to me, that's ridiculous. Because, you know, when something like a new train station is getting built, or a new subway system is getting built, there's a reason why that's getting built, because the city freaking needs it, you know. So, and this is why, like, you know, for little jobs, like, you know, okay, some guy wants to build this monstrosity of a house next to my little tiny house, I kind of understand that, and, you know, I'll let it slide, you know, like. But man, when it's like something big, like that's important for the city, gets shut down just because some guy is like stubborn and doesn't give a shit, I think it's ridiculous anyways. Yeah, I don't know what else I can show you. This is same thing. It was a GT mod for like GT cars, American cars, I think. I don't know what the series we base it on, but this is a GTO, like a GT car. Again, for the game build, you can kind of tell that it's low poly. It was just painted with Photoshop, all these like door seams and everything. This whole thing is like 5,000 polygons. You know, it's just use of textures and stuff to get it looking good. And I just did some renders of it, and just more homes that I did a couple of renders of some homes. I did these renders I don't like because they're showing too much bloom. That's a Viper as well from the same mod. That's the back render of that car. Alright. This render should be done soon, and we'll do some post-processing. Try to do a final version of it. So I have one render from this car already. This car has been going on for a while. Oh, see, I knew I forgot something. I forgot to do wipers. Oh well. Going back, a really old college project and redoing it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Because I have some college projects. Like there's one big final project that I did for college, which was a addition of the existing block, like existing A block on my campus. And our final project was basically to renovate the existing block and then do an nice addition to it. So we did like construction drawings of it, and that would be kind of cool to do a 3D render of that and model it completely in Revit or something. That could be a cool project. I never thought of that. I will have to dig out, see if I can find my old old drawings somewhere, my CAD drawings. I don't even know what I would look. It could be maybe on my computer somewhere. Still, let's see. So yeah, I forgot wipers, but whatever. It's not a huge thing. I don't think anyone's gonna even notice it. They're hidden behind the hood. My lecturers recommend I do that. That's pretty cool. What do you do for a living? Are you a teacher for a living? $15 more passes and then we'll start playing with this thing. Oh, okay. At 21. Yeah, we got a bunch of young guys. You're not the youngest in my stream. There's Puddin and Bob is pretty young, but Bob doesn't really come to my stream that I've seen him maybe a few times. Puddin's I think 17 or 18. I think. I forget. I think it's 18. Okay, cool. Yeah, I never really... My college was basically architectural, drafting and design. That was my college. The program was called Architectural Technologist. That's what it's called. Like my diploma is Architectural Technologist. That's basically what it says on it. Yeah. Graduated 10 years ago. Holy shit. Time flies. 2007 in May I graduated. Been working ever since. You ever done animation? No, I've done like basic stuff like camera rotating, like for cars and stuff like that. I've tried to rig a character once, but I haven't done any. The only characters I've ever done is there's a mech that I just started modeling. Once this is done, I can show you some of my work in progress models. But I started modeling like a robot. That's the closest thing I've ever done to actual character. I might actually rig it when it's done, but no, yeah. So I haven't really done much animations except, like I said, rotating camera and stuff like that, like simple things like that. Alright, 8 more passes. So there's 43 minutes for this render. Not too bad. Do you stream yourself or not? Spicy. Make really good animations. You're modeling in there. Yeah. Yeah, I would just have to kind of get into that stuff more. But unfortunately, yeah, I never did. Nano's hosting. Hey man, thanks for hosting. Built-in V-Ray. Material. Well, I'm using Corona. I'm not using V-Ray, but for this car, I'm using my own material, Corona material, because you cannot use V-Ray materials for Corona render. You have to use V-Ray materials for V-Ray render, Corona materials for Corona render. That's how it usually works. I've streamed before as a modeling in college design, but never really stuck at it. Yeah, it's tough. I used to do like most of my streams were about 3D modeling, but then now I'm more bridging towards streaming. I used to stream games as well, just to kind of sound and go freaking crazy and I'm burnt out just doing 3D stuff. But now I'm more switching towards I stream basically racing games, like iRacing. So I've kind of tried to stream that more because 3D modeling, unfortunately, in Twitch it's not as popular. I wish it would be more popular, but it's not. You get a lot of loyal people, like loyal streamers from 3D, but you don't get a lot of viewers. It's just you get a couple of dudes that are really loyal, but then the overall growth of your stream, of your channel, it's really tough. Games are way more popular, no matter whichever way you look at it. Because 3D modeling it's still quite boring to watch. Because most people that watch it a lot of times they're just lurking in the background, working on their stuff, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. It's really tough to get the popularity doing this stuff every day. V-Ray card mat looks pretty good. Yeah, the V-Ray material should be bang on pretty much. I mean, you just have to kind of play with the settings and colors and stuff. I mean, it's built for that, right? So Corona doesn't have their own specific car material, so you have to kind of come up with your own material from the base material that they provide. But it's not hard. There's a lot of tutorials on car materials and stuff for any renderer you're using. There's a shit ton of stuff. There you go, 100 passes. Still a little bit noisy, but I'll scale down the render and it should be pretty good to go. I'll save this. And now we just gotta combine the two. I wonder if I keep... Nah, I'll stop it. I'll do like a massive render off stream later on. I just wanted to see if this is gonna work. But yeah, let me show you the mech that I worked on. We'll save this. Oh yeah, there's a water pistol. I forgot about that. That's another thing. I started modeling a water pistol. This is another project that I started recently. Something simple. It's almost done basically. Now I just have to do the internals and then render it. Mech. Yeah, I've been following for a while and I see You're playing iRacing quite a lot. I wish there was more popular. Yeah, it's like I said, it's not like I've been streaming 3D for. It's gonna be in September. It's gonna be 2 years that I've been streaming. I mean, I'm not I didn't start as a regular streamer, like a full-time streamer. Like I don't put as many hours as some other streamers, but it's tough with 3D. Like the way 3D works, like with 3D streamers, is like you get influx. Like you'll get one stream, it's like really popular because out of nowhere a bunch of people come out, and then the next stream there's like, and then the next couple streams there's like nobody. Where with games you constantly get like a fairly decent amount of viewers no matter what sort of day it is, because there's a lot more people that are interested in that stuff than 3D, unfortunately. But the loyalty from a 3D viewer is a lot higher than a gamer, because you'll get a gamer follower and then he'll be there for like a couple of days and just like disappears. There's a lot of people like that. So yeah, but it's because Pixelogic it's a team of streamers. They have a team of guys that are constantly streaming. And they basically group them into one stream, and that's why they share their viewers and followers. But it's tough to be a successful 3D streamer, man, in Twitch, I'm telling you. Like me and Dope have been doing it almost the same amount of time, and it's still, I mean, Dope is doing fairly decent recently, but it's still nowhere near as good as like some, you know, game streamers out there. That's why like there's this website, if you guys are interested in streaming on it, there's Watch Me Work. It's a different, like kind of like Twitch, but it's basically it's built for just like design and, you know, like a creative sort of streams. So if you ever want to stream, maybe it would be a good idea to stream on here, because these guys have just started, you know, trying to expand on their community and stuff, and they have already bunch of people streaming on it. So that's why right now my stream is on there as well. It doesn't take much to set up. The only thing is you have to go through YouTube, which I'm not really a fan of. YouTube freaking blocks everything, like censors all my videos and everything, so I'm not a really fan of that. Okay, so now we just have to cut out. It's gonna be tough. Looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll get some more people's eyes on 3D arts and make more popular. Yeah, it's like I said, I try to help people out, and I like the idea of like Twitch sort of something like Twitch, but that's based on creative stuff. Oops, going the wrong way. gonna delete that. Damn it. Oh, he's gonna trim out. I forgot to blur my wheels as well. I'll do that later. Okay, so delete that. It's starting to look good. I rendered the alpha map on the car because Proton and 3D render is forbidden. I know, I could have just done the alpha thing and then combined the two. Just render a mask of the car instead, but this might not work out actually. I'll have to try it. It kind of got rid of that little there's a little bloom effect there, but whatever, it's not end of the world. Alright, so we got that. Now I just gotta blur the underneath of the car, but with the same. I just forgot to do motion blur in 3D for the wheels, so I'll have to redo that and then just combine it, merge it with the. I might have to redo this whole thing again, maybe higher res, but for the stream, this is let's pretend that this is just a trial period. It's a tryout. Alright, so now we do motion blur on this guy. I think it's the same amount. I could do rotational blur on the wheels in Photoshop as well, but it's not. It won't look as nice. Okay, so now let me just open back that thing. I gotta figure out how to do freaking motion blur. Ugh. Hey, Shade, man. What's happening? Haven't seen you in freaking ages. Group. Front. Driver. Rear. Driver. Alright, so now he's gotta animate these guys. Let's say, why are these there already? Okay, how does this work again? Sweet. Alright, and then this guy. I don't know if I'm spinning it the right way. Shit. I think I was spinning it the right way. Not that it matters, it's just blurry animations. Alright. So now in the camera, I think there's a setting motion blur. I did this on my Escort, but I just can't remember now exactly what I need to turn out. Blurring. What the hell is it? That's camera mod. How about saving? Hold on, let me, I'm gonna have to look it up. Corona motion blur. Camera. Let's try if this works. Nope.
It's a nice mixture of people, right? And everybody still vibes in. I mean,
Transfer segments. Frame offset. Oh, maybe I need to move this to like here.
Well,
Start isn't moving right. Try to run in the middle. Yeah, that's what I just moved. But it didn't work. Let me try stopping it and starting it again. 1 sec. We'll lower this guy. I knew there was a trick on it, but I think there's something in the camera that I have to do. In the actual camera setting, I have to turn it on. I can't remember exactly where it is. Shutter speed. Oh, I have to change the shutter speed. Nope. So that's not working. We'll put this back to 6. Damn it. Okay, okay, I think it's gonna work now. See this little setting in the camera? You need to turn it on. Can you change the zoom with the static images? There you go. I turned it on. It's on. I just now have to just play with the setting of it. I think it's on. Just need to change the shutter speed, duration. I think I got it. That one's too high, I think. I can open up my my Ford render and see what I did there, but I know like it was a little tricky to get right. Son of a bitch. Maybe it's the offset. 0.5. Photoshop it. Yeah, I actually know you can do it, but this is like a lot easier actually. Okay, I'm opening up my other car render. See what I did there. I knew I had to like play with the settings to figure it out. It took me a while. I'll just open up my Ford. Holy shit, it's already 8:20. Jesus. Alright, there you go. Change the shutter speed and render setup. I think that's what it is, yeah. I think you're right. I just want to double check here what I used here on the camera settings at least. Alright, so we got 1 out of 10. That's interesting. What's happening now? I think that's my problem because I'm using the camera exposure. Chrome flags the Corona installer from the official site. That's harmful. What? In seconds on the Escort. Yeah. This is 1.001 seconds. Okay. I just want to see what did here. Camera enable 16. 0. I didn't really do much different. Okay, so it's all within the camera setting. Looks like. Try 20. Oh my god. No offset. Off seconds, okay. Oops. Yeah, there you go. My bad. It was 0.1. So I should probably, if I increase this duration, it should change it. Technically. But it looks like you're not. I think it's blurring a little bit, but it's not enough. Son of a bitch. Let's try like 20 seconds. Something high. See what happens. Nope. Not working. Oh my god. Why you no work? Higher speed shutter, better motion blur. So you have to go lower then. So the seconds should be 0.1. I'm so confused. So we can tell you how. Dude, why are you not working? Son of a bitch. Try 1/2. Yeah, I think that's gonna be what's gonna work. Because I had 1/10 on the escort maybe understands that better. Hopefully. What did I have on escort? The problem is on escort I didn't have I didn't use the photographic exposure. That shouldn't technically matter, but let's try if I just use perspective. Watch, it's gonna work now and I'm gonna lose my mind. No, it doesn't work. Oh, does it? No, maybe, no. Not like this. What did I have here? 1/10. Son of a bitch, man. I knew I was struggling even like with escort when I was rendering back. When it was called the dog. Oh, you guys, you're not helping, man. Can I promise a song request? Sure. My stream is almost done though, but sure. You know what? Let's just do something like... because this is really slow, so let's try 50 here or something. So you said the faster the shutter speed, the more motion blur, right? Is that what you guys are saying? Do you have this render setup? Yeah, I do, yeah. Yeah, I do. I have that turned on, yeah. It's a YouTube link. No, that's fine. Yeah, you can post it. Oh man. Yeah, see my shutter speeds are 1:50 or 1/50. So what should I use then? It's all about this number here. I know that's what it is, because like I've used it. It says 1/40 here. I should just delete this camera mod. Maybe the camera mod is what's ruining everything. Crazy. Still not working. Alright, we'll pause my music. Alright, I'm gonna have to figure this out on my own, I guess.
I don't fit in boxes of your categories. You won't find real or the next us. The chosen one might get it tatted on me. You passed on me, better fess up. On my worst day, come make your best stuff. On my worst stuff, could be your best stuff. And your running mouth, better rest up. There's a couple of things that can pent up. I've been alone in my room with nobody around, just to gather my thoughts.
Spin the wheel faster. Does it work? It's already fairly fast. Oops.
I know I'm the only one. We have a lot to cheer, so they pull me one. Only one can judge, that's the holy one, yeah. I can
Is it actually? Yeah, I think it's doing it now. Holy crap. Okay, I think I figured it out. Just one sec. Where's the But this doesn't work though, see, once I don't have the... I think I figured it out. See, that this doesn't affect it though, that's the problem. You let the dog do it, finally. Freaking raptor. I figured it out. Remember back, I was surfing couches. My new estate got a fucking fountain. A middle finger for a fucker down. Keep it deep enough to watch a fucker drowning out. I can see blood in the water. I don't want none of you fishing. I can see anything honest. I don't want none of your business. The thing is, this shouldn't really matter. Hold on. It's already 31. Hold on. Camera. Because like the Corona says that I don't need to enable this shutter motion blur crap. So it's only in the render. So I'm gonna try this actually with Corona itself. See, it doesn't work. I've tried doing that before and it wouldn't work. Oh, pause that. As I change this, well, I'll try to match these guys. Oops, wrong. Really confusing, man. Are you going to work? Maybe? Yeah, it just doesn't work with the freaking Corona for some reason. I don't get it. Anyways, yeah, I gotta go to work. This sucks. But that sort of works, and I can just render and paste it in. It's really confusing the way they explain this in Corona, man. The motion blur stuff. I really am not a fan of it. Use 1, set it to 50. It's not gonna work because it's not. I tried that already. I'll have to really figure this out without using the actual this crap. There, I can just render this. Also check both enable geometry and enable camera. I did check that. It's already checked. So all I have to do is now basically render this. Do like, I don't know, 10 passes of this. Hey, by the way, MR streamer dude, what's your name? Oh, my name? My name is Slaven. Slav, people call me Slav, but my name is Slaven though. And now you have to leave it like this to render until you're back from work. Oh man. I'm just gonna save it. What if I don't go to work? I can call in sick. But I'm not gonna do that. Alright, so now we open the other one. I don't know if it's gonna be same darkness. New layer. Adjustment, shadows, highlights. Wow, everything's so slow. Okay, and now we just cut this guy out. No! I'm like rushing. Oops. My computer is gonna blow up. Computer's gonna blow up. Maybe not. What is Raptor talking about? What are you talking about? There you go. Bam! Now he's gotta do the back wheel. Are you using a tablet? You guys, man. There you go. So now he's gotta do the back wheel and we're almost there. But I'll let this, I'll close this now, but I'll just do the wheels and I'll probably redo the whole thing at a much higher res. And it's unfortunate I couldn't finish it, but Paint 3D. But that looks really sick. I like that. And then what you can do is flatten image, Control J, filter, stylize. Where is it? Other bypass. Image. Saturation, and then put this as soft light. Now we have the thing pop a little bit, maybe lower it a little slightly, flatten it, bam, and then maybe just little curves. I don't need curves. Saturation maybe slightly lower. There you go. I think it's pretty good. Control Shift U remove saturation. There you go. It's not bad. It's still a little noisy, but that's why I'm gonna render this at a much higher res. But you get the idea. I'll do this final render off stream or something and then post it on ArtStation. I was hoping to finish this today, but the bridge in the window. Oh, this thing, yeah, fuck. I have to blur this thing as well. I can do that, it's not a problem. So that's another thing I have to pick up. This little guy and then this little guy in the back. It's not, it's pretty easy. I can do that. It's just I'll probably have to deal with the mask. No, I know. Which reflections? No, they don't. The reflections are not blurred, man. Raptor is a high. He's on drugs. Anyways, I'll close this guy. Don't save it. I'll save this separately. Holy shit, it's already 41. Alright guys, I have to get going. I'm late for work. Thanks for watching. Blur everything. Blur your face. Anyways, it's like 6ish maybe. Not sure yet. 6 hours. Blue Song of Death. Alright, but yeah, thanks for watching guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Do some iRacing and yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream today. I was hoping I was gonna finish that render, but I didn't, unfortunately. Sometimes rendering takes a little too long. Shows up in Discord. Cool. Let's see if anyone's actually streaming. Maybe we can host somebody. Host some dude. 3D modeling guy. We'll go for a 3D model today. Alright, let's see. Ooh, 22 views. 3D printer. Let's host this guy. Ecoposis.
Modify my geometry.
Ecoposis. Alright, we'll host this guy. Blur everything. Blur your house, blur your face. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and see you tomorrow with some iRacing. Take care.